it, Lynn? Are you filming my ass again?
No.
What the hell is with you?
That was your front.
Well, first off, I've got to get this weeded. And of course, I like to weed and feed the weeds to the chickens and the rabbit because it saves me a small fortune in food. But today, as you can see, our peas have basically had it. They're not producing anymore. I need to get them out so that I can plant another crop here that will produce. So, but, as I said, animal feed's expensive. Hay is expensive. Hay is like as much as $7 a bale now. And you may be saying, well, maybe what happens when you get it on the field, because it used to be a lot cheaper when you picked it up on the field. But if you can get that, that's great. But we haven't been able to buy hay on the field here for a few years. And of course, like many of you, we're brokered in shit right now. So, if I don't have to buy hay, that's going to save me a little bit of money. And these pea vines are excellent fodder for animals. They're high in protein, but you can't just dry them. You have to dry them a certain way or they'll mildew, in which case they're not worth anything for fodder. So right now I'm just going to pull them up. And I could dry them out here just by throwing them on a dry spot or something like that. But then I would have to worry about them mildewing. And the way I'm going to dry them, which I'll show you in a minute, I don't have to worry about them mildewing and I don't have to worry about them coming apart and losing any part of the plant. And it's not like it's hard to do. It's basically just grab the plants and pull them up. And you can see this is one of the trellises that I made with zip ties and bamboo. And no, I'm not sure what I'm going to plant back here yet. I kind of have to play it by ear and see what I think will do good here after I get all those freaking weeds out. Which, as you know, weeding's my favorite thing to do. If only I could get my wife to weed, that would be great. I suppose I could convince her that it'd be a good workout program or something like that, maybe. Honey, this is what you need to do if you want to lose weight.
Huh.
This is what you need to do if you want to get in good shape. Pull up some pea vines. Pull up some weeds. Look at the freaking weeds. I just weeded this garden. It's already full of weeds again. And yet it's dry now. We haven't had rain. We had all that rain, and now we haven't had rain for like 10 minutes, and it's already dry enough and blown away. We had a bunch of wind, and as most of you know, when the wind comes up, it takes all the water right out of the soil, which, that's not fun. The nice thing about this is that if you mix it with like grass hay or something, it bumps up the amount of protein. Now, what you don't want to do is feed this all at once to your animals because it is way too rich and it can cause them to do all kinds of number of stupid things that animals do. Honey, could you weed the rest of that out of there? Could you weed it? All right, so now we have a wheelbarrow full of pea vines. And we're going to take them to, you've heard me talk about it before, we're going to take them to the drying room. And then I'll explain what the hell the drying room is.
Okay, I'm going to turn this off.
Okay. Okay, so on the way to the barn, I realized you might want to meet Maya. This is the smaller of our two dogs, and the one who's actually a better stock dog. We have a, what is it? How do you pronounce that?
Anatolian, I think.
Anatolian or something.
Anatolian, something like that.
We have a huge Anatolian named Goldie who is currently hiding somewhere. which is good because otherwise she'll knock you down and kill you. And then we have Maya. Maya is the damnedest herd dog you ever saw. She's actually really good with the animals. She's half Shih Tzu and half Queensland Blue Heeler, which explains the one blue eye. Every summer I give her a haircut. As you can see, it's not the prettiest haircut in the world, but she is always much happier after she gets her summer haircut. And it doesn't matter what she looks like because she's a farm dog. It's kind of like me and my stained up shirts. Who gives a shit? We're on the farm. Don't be an asshole. Dumbass people, more worried about the way things look than the way things are. That's what's destroying the world. Now I'm going to the barn. You can turn it off first. Say when.
On.
Okay, so now this is the drying room. What is the drying room? Drying room is a room at the end of our barn that the afternoon sun hits this wall. It has 2 windows in it on either side for cross ventilation. It has numerous places to hang stuff. If you look at the floor, this is the last hay I gathered off the yard. And if you look here, you can see we're going to take this inside in a little bit. And I'm going to show you, we're going to take this inside and I'm going to show you how we make it into tea. This is mint that I dried. Okay, so I just take a piece of our old friend baling twine. And what I want to do is I want to dry this without it mildewing. This doesn't look like very much, but this is high protein, and if I mix it with regular hay, I'll probably be using that for most of a month as a little add-on. But you have to watch it because if it mildews, it ain't worth a crap. So I'm just going to take it, bundle it up into probably 2 bundles, and I'm going to hang it here in the drying room on this piece of bamboo. Oh, another piece of bamboo. Who knew? I'm just going to hang it there, and then that'll keep it off the floor, and that'll help it dry without mildewing. And then I'll take it and with the rest of the hay, and I'll just stack it in a corner, or I'll bag it. Sometimes I go ahead and I bag my hay just because it makes it easier to store, because of course when you're baling loose hay, you don't have bales. So sometimes I'll just take the old feed sacks, which is what this is covered with, by the way. This is old feed sacks. It helps insulate it, helps make a water barrier, and it was free. So there you go. But I'll probably, I sometimes store the hay. Depends on how I feel, you know, what I'm feeling in the moment. But I sometimes store it after it's dry. I put it and the pea vines and stuff into, mostly just into feed sacks, mostly just so I can stack it, no other real reason. Okay, and those will sit there and dry. And now we take this down, and we'll take it in the house, and I will show you the easy way to make this into tea. Okay, are you ready?
On.
Okay, so the first thing we have to do is take off our little loopy things that you saw earlier when I hung the herbs in the kitchen. Again, just strings with loops on both sides, makes it easier to hang and stuff. And I saved them and used them over and over again. Then, okay, so you're going to take that off to save to use over again. Get a paper sack. Take a paper sack, put your mint over the paper sack, or whatever herb you're trying to. You can do this with any herb. Okay, so it obviously doesn't fit in the paper sack, so I'm going to bust it and put it down in there. Oh, I spilled a piece on the floor, it doesn't matter. Okay. So, this is really dry. You want it to be really dry. Okay, I'm just going to loosen that up. All right, same thing. Stick it down in the bag. Make a goddamn mess all over the floor. That's okay. You gotta sweep the floor anyway, right? And you want to bust that. You want to bust it so that the hard stems aren't against the side of your bag, and you'll see why in a minute. There's the last one of those. Okay. So, put that in the sack. Okay, now you have it in the sack, right? You're going to take this sack You're going to kind of fold it over, but you don't want to fold it over too much because if the air can't get out, it's going to pop. You put the sack on the ground. And remember the tool I've told you can use is called feet. You just take your feet now, you're going to stomp on that bag like this. I'm stomping on the bag. Okay.
And that's why you didn't want the hard edges out.
That's why you don't want the hard edges out, because if you put the hard stems out, they'll pop that bag. Okay, so when you get done doing that, take the stems like this and you just shake them. Okay, take the stems and shake them. Pull the stems out. Okay, and when you get done, you have, I guess I'll do it on the floor so they can see. When you get done, you take this, go like that, and you pull it out. And as you can see, you have a whole stack full of tea, ready to bag or put in a canister. If you want, you can take the stems out, or you can leave the stems in. You can actually use the stems. We're not hard up for mint, so there's no sense in trying to use those stems. But as you can see, that was very simple, and now I have tea already. So, thank you very much. I hope you have been enjoying watching us and will continue to do so. Tell your friends. Make us rich and famous, because God knows we ain't there yet. Goodbye.